Hello, and welcome to Cooking with Pinehurst. This is my mom, Linda, and I'm Ashley Dubs. And today we are going to be showing you how to make an omelet. Some people think that seems pretty simple. It's not. It's not that simple at all. A lot of people.
Well, it is simple once you learn. Once you learn the steps, it's simple.
I'm still having trouble with it, and I've been trying for a while.
Well, and a thing that people don't realize is if you have, say you get home from work and you really don't have a lot of time to make dinner, make an omelet. Just because you have omelets for breakfast doesn't mean that omelets can't be a dinner type thing, or even lunch, really, when you think about it, because they use them for brunches.
I love eggs any time of the day.
Yeah. So this is a quick, easy one. It's, well, except for the egg part, it's kind of a vegetarian one.
Not a vegetarian at all.
No. But it has mushrooms in it, it has spinach in it, it has cheese in it, and it has eggs. And that's pretty much it, and butter. So if you're not wanting if you want a meatless kind of dinner, this is a great thing to do. And breakfast
Still meat, but whatever.
Eggs are protein, eggs are not meat.
We could go on and debate this for
I had a girl who came here the other week, and she wanted what did I tell you it was? It was a vegan, but it's a vegan that eats fish. And she says she doesn't eat anything with a face. And I'm there, well, every fish I've ever seen has a face.
Vegetarian, vegan, that doesn't make any sense at all.
It was it was vegan, but she ate fish. It's like a branch off of
She don't know what the hell she's talking about.
Well, whatever.
Anyway.
She says, I don't eat anything with a face. And I'm there, well, fish have a face. So I said, well, then do you eat eggs? And she said, no, they have a face. And I'm there, I have never seen an egg that had a face yet, except for Humpty Dumpty.
All this time.
Yeah, Humpty Dumpty had a face, but other than that, eggs don't have faces. So I guess people just adapted to what they want.
Special.
Yeah, they just
don't
adapt
understand
what they want. But anyway, so this is what we're going to do. We're going to start out with 8 eggs. Now this is going to be an omelet for 3 to 4 people. It honestly depends on who's the 3 to 4 people. You could probably knock this off with 2 people if you had 2 like Brandon.
I eat 4 eggs when I make scrambled eggs.
Okay, so Brandon and Ashley could eat one of these themselves. I would think if it's a dinner one, you probably would use this for 2 people. If it's a breakfast one where you might have sausage and stuff like that on the side, or toast and all that stuff, then you might get 3 to 4 people out of it. But anyway, we had 8 eggs. Well, we had 8 eggs. What happened to the other egg? Go get us another egg.
Just kidding.
we had 8. I thought we had 8 eggs.
Oh.
Maybe we had a jumper. Anyway, we have 8 eggs. We have 1 cup of chopped fresh mushrooms. We have 4 cups of torn fresh spinach. And I was going to show you, there's a name for this. And usually they do it with basil. They can do it with spinach too. It works well with a flat leaf kind of plant. You can do it with your hands, or you can do it with a knife. You roll it up like a jelly roll. It's called chiffonade. You roll it up like this, and so it looks like a little cigar. And then you can either pull chunks of it off like this, or you could cut it with a knife. A lot of times if you see basil on top of a pizza or something like that, it's usually chiffonade with a knife. This one, you don't have to do that, but because we're going to be cooking it up anyway. It'll also have 1/4 cup of Parmesan cheese, 1/4 cup of Feta cheese, and 1/4 cup of butter. We're also going to spray the pan. You know us, we spray the pan on everything. So you spray the pan. You could cook these 2 ahead of time if you want to, but you don't have to. You can throw all this stuff into the egg mixture. What we also do is we put about a tablespoon of water in with the egg after it's mixed. So go ahead, you can start doing that.
All right.
And you can just put the shells right back in there.
I figured out.
Yeah. We have 1/4 teaspoon of nutmeg and a teaspoon of onion powder. Now, if you wanted to put onion in, you could, but you don't have to put a lot of onion in because you don't want it overpower. This is going to give you the taste of the onion without having a lot of overpower. I would say if you were going to put onion in, instead of using just a regular onion, you might want to use a green onion.
To me, I love green onions in my omelet.
Yeah.
But as a side note, that is a clock. We don't actually have a bird that broke into the restaurant. My grandmother gave us this clock that chirps a different bird every hour on the
For
hour.
her son's 50th birthday.
It's a pretty badass clock.
Yeah.
It's been around for a while.
It drove us crazy at the house, so my husband decided to bring it here to the restaurant. And every time we have a new worker in the kitchen, we wait to see them go into this.
It's entertaining.
Yeah, they stand around and they look, especially when the thing goes hoo 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 and all that stuff. It's hysterical. So anyway, go ahead and beat.
I don't love this whisk.
Well, that's the whisk that we use if you have a coated pan.
I get that, but I just don't love
We're
this
gonna
whisk.
put the water in. Now, why we put water in is I was told a long time ago by an omelet chef that the water gives the egg volume without giving it a taste of, like, you know how like a lot of people put milk or cream into the eggs. This doesn't take away from the egg taste.
Okay.
Okay, that's good. Now we're going to add in 4 cups of torn spinach. You want just a spoon?
What does it matter?
1 cup of the mushrooms. And it looks like a lot of spinach, but when spinach cooks, it goes down a lot. Here's a 1/4 cup of the Parmesan cheese, 1/4 cup of the Feta cheese. She's going to mix that all together, along with the onion powder and a little bit of nutmeg. If you're not into nutmeg, don't use it. If you have,
Smells good.
yeah, if you have French quiche, they always put nutmeg and with the spinach. Something about the spinach and the nutmeg just really go well with each other. So what we're going to do now is we're going to get the pan heated. What happens a lot of times that messes up people with any kind of egg is they get the pan too hot. They're trying to cook it too fast. Eggs will scorch if you cook it too fast. You also need to have enough of the oil in there. So if you're not going to use butter, which who doesn't want to use butter, but if you don't want to use butter and you want to use oil, you're going to have the equivalent of the same amount. Now this is a 1/4 cup, so you'd have to put a 1/4 cup of oil in the pan too and get it hot. What we're going to do is we're going to spray it, get it hot, put the butter in, but don't let the butter get to where it's like brown and burning, because it's going to transfer over into the egg. And we'll be right back. All right, now as you can see, the butter has melted down, but it isn't turning brown yet. But you can see the bubbles, and then you can see that the pan is hot, but not really super hot. We're going to take this mixture, and we're going to pour it into the pan. And it might look like a lot of spinach, but the spinach cooks down. Now what you do is you push it around so that it's more evenly distributed in the pan. And you can turn this up just a little bit to get it moving. Once you see that it's starting to cook, then you want to turn it down. What you do too is once it starts cooking, you pull this away so that the liquids go back out that way. See how the liquids will fill in? And that's what keeps it from being really runny. If you have a lot of it in the pan like this, sometimes it's worth letting it a little moist on top and sticking it under a broiler in your stove for a couple minutes. Now, because we're not trying to get this thing all scorched up, it's going to take a couple minutes for this to cook. I'll turn it up just a little bit. Now, as you can see, can you see that the eggs are starting to, see that? The eggs are starting to form and harden up a little bit. So once again, you push it in and then you move it around. Push it in, move it around. And you can see the spinach is starting to cook down. All right, now can you see how the eggs are starting to really set up? So what we're gonna do is let it cook for a little bit, and then when it's to the point that it can be flipped, you're gonna take it and flip it this way. Okay, now it is solid up. We just put some salt and pepper on this, and you do that to taste. And what you need to do is go like that. So there you are. Now you can see why you could have something like this for dinner. That's a lot of food when you think about it. That's eggs, cheese, vegetables, all kinds of stuff in here that would be a great dinner. Here you go. This is what a half portion would look like. And that's way more than enough for somebody's dinner. Like I said, if you have light eaters, you could get 4 portions out of this. So I would say 2 dinner portions or 4 breakfast portions out of this. Well, this is the finished product. I'll raise up so you can see it. And like I said, this is a great dinner or breakfast treat.
Smells amazing.
Yeah, it really does smell good. Can't wait to eat it. So until next time, we'll see you at Cooking with Pinehurst. We're in Stockbridge, Georgia. If you ever need any caterers, we're here. We also have an events facility, so if you need a place to have your Christmas parties or whatever, give us a call.
Also, if you like this video and you want to subscribe to our channel, that would be super awesome.
Yeah. That way you'll be alerted anytime we put a new one on.
For sure. So, thank you.
Thank you. Bye-bye.